We're really excited to have Amanda in the space yet again for her one-woman show. And, Amanda will also be staying after the show for a meet and greet. So if you'd like to stay and chat with her after the show, you can feel free to talk to people in the front. Yes, thank you for waving, wearing pink. And they'll help you get set up to chat with Amanda. Okay, so without further ado, it's my honor to introduce Amanda Seals to the space for her show, What Would the Ancestors Say? So please welcome Amanda.
I'm in a weird mood. So we need to get me out of my weird mood. It just feels off, not y'all, but like is Mercury in microwave? It just feels, yeah, like my anxiety is but the show must go on. Oh, actually, before the show go on. So, for those who have been to the show before, you're going to see new stuff. For those who have not been to the show before, it's all new. But this is a work in progress. And what I'm working towards is publishing the script of this one-woman show, self-publishing it in November. And in workshopping, thank you, and in workshopping this and putting it together over the past year and a half, it's the first time that I've ever had time to figure something out, Capitalism always, we're at the TPF, so we're going to talk about capitalism all the time. But it forces you to always feel like you got to churn shit out. And it doesn't allow for it to root. It doesn't allow for it to really incubate and grow. And so this is a piece that I'm finally getting to do that with. And so you're going to see some changes and shifts as we have seen the world change and shift. And so the piece changes and shifts with the world that we're in. So I appreciate you all going along with its, malleability.
Art is dangerous. That's right. I want to remind you of the history of artists who have been murdered, slaughtered, imprisoned, chopped up, refused entrance. The history of art, whether it's in music or written or what have you, has always been bloody because dictators and people in office and people who want to control and deceive know exactly the people who will disturb their plans.
That's right.
And those people are artists. They're the ones that tell the truth. And it's something that the society has got to protect.
Greetings. It is your ancestor, Harriet Tubman. I've been trying to mind my business in the afterlife, but everything that's going on down here just keeps me rolling in my grave. I've been rolling so much I done worn out my good headscarf. I was having brunch the other day with Rosa Parks. You know Rosa Parks? Yes. Well, my good sister Rosa, we were talking about how things were. How things were before they were. And how things are now. And she said that recently somebody had her face on a pair of panties at a costume ball. I said, they won't even put me on the $20 bill, and they got you on some undergarments? Rosa said that night she rolled so much in her grave she broke her glasses. Now, I feel like we need to talk, y'all. We got to talk because honestly, every time that our ancestral work is, well, it's undone, we are up there rolling around and it's disturbing our peace in the great beyond. I ain't never been nothing but a straight shooter, so I'm going to tell you straight. You done run amok. You're gone astray. In my time, I was known for leading folks to freedom. And let me tell you, the way there was, it was full of horror. We'd be walking through the woods, following the stars, and off in the distance, you'd hear the dogs barking. And just like that, the loudest person, the loudest folk who said, I'm going to do whatever it takes to be free, would get to fright and start talking about turning back. And so that's when I would show them my little friend. See, I would carry my little friend with me, you know, just to inspire people, to understand that that ain't the way. And if they still wasn't understanding, I would pull out my little friend, my pistol, and I would look them dead in the eye and I'd say, you take one more step and it's going to be pop, pop. And I meant it. So I want you to ask yourself, if I, Ms. Araminta Harriet Tubman, came back down to this realm, would you be someone I'ma shoot? I hear you thinking about it. Now, if I'm honest, I have compiled a list of individuals in different sectors that I would feel inclined to greet were I to come on down. And they could use some course correcting. First of all, it would be the braiders. My sisters in here, you have to understand, braiding, it came from something bigger than where it's gotten to now. I hear the braiders are changing their prices all willy-nilly. They're not showing up with hair. They're charging you all kind of exorbitant rates if you're late, but they showing up with their child half an hour behind. I heard they don't even want to wash your hair. Oh, no. Braiding is freedom. Braiding for us was more than just freedom because we was putting maps in people's hair or sowing seeds into cornrows. No, it was freedom also because we got to connect with each other. It was a laying on of hands. It was community. And it was also carrying with us a skill that we carried with us when we were carried away from the motherland. Now, don't get me wrong, braiders, I understand that you should be paid a wage for your work. Absolutely. But when you start exploiting your people, well, now, shouldn't nobody let you close to their head. Pop, pop! Yes. Also on my list would be the podcast bros. I believe that's what you call them. Oh, looks like I lost a piece of the mic. The podcast bros, let me tell you. They got a microphone like this one. They wear sunglasses inside. And they're talking about black women don't do this, black women do too much this, alpha males and such. Whole lot of nonsense. You see, we have to remember, y'all, we are like a forest of trees connected with roots that are sending healing and messaging and water and nutrients to each other. And that cord on that microphone is like a root going to the people listening to you. And I've been hearing these podcast bros. Well, every time these pods are casted, they sending a lot of poison down them roots. And I'm about to run up in a studio or two and pop. Last but not least, you know, in my day, cooning was an act of survival. It was a decision. You know, for some folks, well, making the choice to love their master was somehow better than being forced to be their slave. That was their way of making it through the hell on earth they were living in. I don't judge them. But now y'all, well, cooning is a career. I'm surprised it ain't a major at Liberty University in Lynchburg, Virginia. They got a whole burg for lynching. Cooning is no longer an act of survival. At this point, y'all, cooning is letting your identity, your ethnicity, your body be weaponized to colonize. It is not you being useful. You're being used. And now they got all kinds of coons. Latino coons. They got all kinds of Asian coons. Look at the vice president's wife. She an Indian coon. A coondian. Namaste. Now, I'm an ancestor. I'm not God. I'm not omnipotent. I can't be everywhere at all times. So that means I can't talk to everybody that I need to talk to. So I ask y'all, are there any coons I'm leaving out that you feel I need to meet, to speak to? Anybody? Anybody? DJ, that's a Palestinian coon. Yes, it is. Eric Adams, he's down the street. We can all go together. Yeah. Anybody else? Cory Booker, that's a talking coon. Boy, he just be a talking, and a yelling. He's a yelling coon. Marco Rubio is a white man. He is from Spain and lived in Cuba, you know. Someone said, Candace Owens, you can tell by the edges there. And I missed one more. Hakeem Jeffries. Yes. Hakeem Jeffries is a Dollar Tree Obama. Well, I want to invite all of y'all to keep an eye on the coons around you in your circles. And know that you can also walk up on them and let them know. Pop, pop! Let me hear y'all. Now, white people. Amy, I know you're here, so there's at least one white woman here. You did your pop-pop already? Because I want you to know, white folks, you are just as responsible for walking up to the coons in your circles. The ones who are still holding on to the white supremacy that got us cooning in the first place. So everybody, let me hear one more time a pop, pop. One more. One more. All right. Well, I want you to know one more thing that I felt like I needed to come down here and talk to you about. You see, there seems to have been a misperception that your ancestors left you freedom. No. We left you a fight to further your freedom. And we are still fighting. We're still running. The dogs are still barking. Show you're right. So we have to keep going because we've got so far to go. Speaking of going, I have a spades game to attend with Gerald Levert, Kobe Bryant, and Chadwick Boseman. So I'm going to make my way to Seneca Village by now. But before I go, I want to remind y'all that I am your ancestor. I'm watching you. We're all watching you. And I'm armed. And I'm ready. So just reach out to me anytime on the main line. And if I reach out to y'all, pick up. You know, y'all left out somebody like the #1 coon of all time. This person says Shannon Sharp. It's crazy how you can get your lick back and not even have to do nothing. I tried to tell y'all. God damn. But that's not what this show is about. Clarence Thomas. The Godfather coon, yes. I think about Clarence Thomas all the time. He takes up like a quadrant of my brain. Just, how did this happen? I mean, that's overachieving gone the complete wrong direction. He said, you know what? If I can't be Thurgood Marshall, I'm just going to be everything opposite of what he could be. It's fascinating, isn't it? This villain that he has become. And so I always think of when I see these evil people, whether it be like Benjamin Netanyahu or the Kardashians, I don't know. You know, you just, I kid. But I always imagine, what is their origin story? When did they become the villain, right? Now, Clarence Thomas was born in Pinpoint, Georgia. Do you know where Pinpoint is? It's probably the size of a pinpoint. Yeah. And in my mind, you know, Clarence, well, he was a special kind of young man. Because you have to understand, too, Clarence Thomas was black as hell before he became a coon as hell, okay? You don't come from Pinpoint, Georgia, and not know how to sing Luther Vandross songs. Like, that just don't make sense to me. He also was married to a black woman and has a son named Jamal. So there's a whole part of the timeline we're missing. In my mind, Clarence Thomas was young when it happened. Because for so many villains, it always starts in childhood, right? And for so many villains, it's because of a girl. You're thinking about someone right now. You're like, yep, exactly right. Josh, right? Clarence Thomas, in my mind, was in Pinpoint, Georgia. And he was, he said, you know, I got my eye on somebody in my class. Let's call her Susie Jenkins. Susie Jenkins just sounds like a little cute black girl, don't she? I'm Susie Jenkins, I'm Susie Jenkins. And in my mind, Clarence Thomas would wake up every morning to work up the gumption to ask Susie Jenkins to go get some ice cream. And every morning he would look in that mirror and he would say, I am Clarence Thomas. I am Clarence Thomas. I am Clarence Thomas. Because in pinpoint, his name is Clarence. And every day he would work up the courage and then he would fall back and he would work up the courage. He has on suspenders, obviously. And then he would fall back. And then one day, he finally gets up the bravery to go ask Susie Jenkins for ice cream. And little Clarence, he's got on his suspenders. He done slick his head back with some grease. He says, Susie Jenkins, I am Clarence Thomas, and I want to take you out for some ice cream. And little Susie Jenkins, with her bows in her hair and her pretty pink dress, says, no, nigga, you look like a fish. And now we don't have reproductive rights. Thanks, Susie. Shit. You know, Clarence also was at one point contemplating being a Black Panther. You know, all of us go through these movements and phases in life, you know, where we're into things and then we're out of things. You know, some of us were into Mighty Morphin Power Rangers at one point, then we were out of it. You know, we have our phases. Clarence was in college and he was going through his own phases. And he was in college in the 60s when there was so much happening, right? Sound familiar? Yes. There's so much happening. You're trying to figure out, where am I aligned? Where is my purpose? How am I going to be a part of this world that I'm in? And so Clarence saw the Panthers and said, I'll try that, give that a whirl. I think it was the outfits. So we got him his Panther kit, right? The beret. And he went on out on the yard for a function for an action they were having. And he gets out on the yard, and I don't know if you know this about the Panthers, but they was about that action. Okay? The Panthers were predominantly 19-year-olds. So they was also there with not much to lose. Well, Clarence didn't realize who he was around, because when it turned up, he said, huh, and ran back to that room. And as he sat in that dorm room, he had an epiphany, right? And he realized, I'm not a Black Panther. I'm a bitch-ass nigga. And he tucked the beret away. He pulled out his tap shoes. And well, he been giving tap dancing a bad name ever since. But I like to think that every villain has some possibility of redemption. I mean, how many evil white men on their deathbed be like, let's do the documentary now? The United States be lying and lying and lying, and then one old white man is dying and is like, I killed him. You killed him, I killed all of them. And you're like, damn. I like to believe that Clarence, that he's dealing with this inside of him. You know, that he's dealing with the inner conflict. Because for what it's worth, Clarence Thomas did come from the same ancestors as many of us in this room. The DNA that is in us, that has dealt through so much struggle, that has moved through resistance, that has existed and lifted and lived. He has that in him too. And there's a piece, a small piece, but a piece of me that believes that every morning he is waking up, deciding every day to try to turn this around. I picture it like this. Another sun rises. Clarence opens his eyes and says, "Today is the day." He sits up in his bed, throws his feet over the side, and lets off a long sigh. And says, "Today is the day." He starts to rise, but has to take his time. Them knees is worn from doing all that shuck and jive. He goes through to the bathroom, looks in the mirror, and begins to resume the affirmations he said back in the day. I am Clarence Thomas. I am Clarence Thomas. But he's distracted. He reaches his hand and lifts a comb and runs the bristles up to his dome. He tries to pull it through, but can't, because baby, Clarence got a 4C nap. And that wrist starts to shaking, and the room starts to quaking, and he says, "I am Clarence Thomas, I am Clarence Thomas, I am Clarence Thomas," poof, and Frederick Douglass appears in the mirror. Frederick, is that you? Mr. Douglass? Yes, it is. I, Frederick Douglass. 2 S's. I didn't know you would be here. Usually it's Justice Marshall every day telling me I'm a disgrace to his legacy. Yes, Clarence. Justice Marshall asked me to step in today, as apparently today is the day. But Clarence, what is the day? Well, today is the day that I'm going to tell them that I'm not going to be their whipping boy anymore. They're not going to keep me under their tongue and under their thumb anymore. They're not going to let me have me taking money and doing their dirty work no more. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Well, it seems like you're telling me. Do you plan to tell them with the same fervor, with the same vigor, with the same energy? Because I don't know what's taken you so long. But I must know what got you here, Clarence. Was it my speeches? Perhaps, what is the 4th of July to a slave? I'm sorry, I haven't heard that speech. You haven't heard that speech? Oh, and you call yourself a justice? Clarence, I must understand. What do you expect to gain from stepping into this space? What bravery have you gained in order to do so? Well, I've gained the bravery of understanding that it's time. It's time for me to have bravery and courage because, well, I know I need to be brave. This is going to be very difficult for me, Mr. Douglas. Is it really, Clarence? Is it really? Clarence, I don't know if you know this because you haven't listened to my speeches or read them, but I was a slave, Clarence. I escaped, Clarence. I learned how to read, Clarence. I wore an afro before it was fashionable, Clarence. I know bravery. What do you know about bravery? Well, I tell you one thing, you're going to need to find it. I know, and I'm finding it. It's just the pressure. Your ancestors is so much pressure. Y'all some amazing Negroes. God damn it. I felt like my only option was to just be as amazing as you all were, but in the other direction. How would I ever live up to y'all? Oh, Clarence. We are not pressure. We are your power. We are what gives you the power to apply pressure. When you are stepping out into the world, it is not on your own tube. It is with all of us flowing through you. So no, you should not step away of fear, but step forward knowing that we are not just near, but in here. I did not mean for that to rhyme. Today is the day. Today is the day. Mr. Douglas with 2 S's. Today is the day. Today is the day. I am Clarence Thomas. You are Clarence Thomas. I am Clarence Thomas. You are Clarence Thomas. I am Clarence Thomas. And Clarence falls to his knees. And just like that, an afro burst from his head. It was incredible, y'all. And then they both startled at the sound of the door opening. Clarence? Clarence? Whom is that? That's my wife, Jenny. Jenny, is it? Clarence? We got a lot of work to do today, boy. Are you sure she is your wife and not your master? Now, Frederick, you talking real loose now, Frederick. You married a white lady too. Clarence, I married an abolitionist. You married a woman who would have a gender reveal party at a lynching. Clarence! What you gonna do, Clarence? What are you going to do? I thought today was the day. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Run, nigga, run. My knees. I'll see you downstairs at the car, Clarence. It's time to go. I guess today ain't the day. And Clarence skulks off like the coward he is to go back into Kundum for another day. And Frederick stands in the mirror. Who can we send tomorrow? Do any of you have any ideas? Nat Turner. Excellent. I played a fabulous pickleball with him recently. He does not follow the rules. Any other suggestions? Malcolm. Ah, Brother Malcolm. He would definitely get him together by any means necessary. Anyone here in the center section? Any suggestions? Or over here in this section? Charlotte Jo. I thought you said Charlotte Johansson. And I was deeply confused. Chairman Fred. He can gather the Rainbow Coalition and turn his beat around. Such fabulous suggestions, and I will bring them all to the coalition ahead. I've also got my own idea. Tupac Amaru Shakur. So that was all improv, y'all. That was all improv. I get annoyed that the Black Panthers have only really been oftentimes like shared with us as brothers holding guns, because that was like a very, that wasn't important, but it was just a small aspect of what they were really about. They were, in actuality, a socialist group that was about filling the void that government was completely leaving as a gaping hole in Black communities. And they were doing so on a multitude of levels, right? So like in healthcare, they were actually providing elder care. They were providing free sickle cell testing. Even when it comes to houselessness, they were providing homes, but also they were providing free exterminator services. They said, no, our people will not live amongst the roaches and rats, okay? They were also, of course, as we know, providing free school lunch and tutoring. These were services that other parts of the community were able to get access to through money or through the color of their skin. However, the Panthers said, no, we are going to step in and we are going to exist as a mutual aid organization for our people. And so to even say they were solely vilified because of them being militarized and saying we're going to police the police is to actually undermine the reality that they were truly vilified because they were providing a soft landing for people that they wanted to crumble. That's what they were really a problem for, okay? And they started to do this in other cities beyond the Bay, and it was like, whoa, 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 we can't have these Negroes getting all uppity, thinking that they deserve, resources and whatnot. But the Panthers were also fly as hell. Come on, man. They were fly! Like, it's just what it is. And that is a part of resistance as well. You see it in Palestine right now. Like, it don't matter. These brothers are literally risking their entire life every single day to try to get aid, and they have a shape up. And they will tell you, yeah, because it's easier to get razors than food in Gaza. But it's also because they like, listen, if I see Allah today, I'm going to be sharp. Alhamdulillah. Dignity. Dignity is a part of resistance. And for Black folks, we have shown our dignity so often in how we show up. Okay, because let me tell you, every picture you see of a boycott, they was coming through. Okay? You know that before they went on that Edmund Pettus Bridge, the night before, John Lewis laid out that suit and that trench coat and that backpack and said, I'm going to kill him with this. Whew, if they don't kill me first. Coretta was calling the girls, what y'all wearing to the march? Because I'm nimble in a kitten heel, okay? They was out there in that hot Alabama sun. Do you know how difficult it is to keep a pin curl flat? Do you understand? That is more than just ointment. That is anointment. I love it. I love to see us being fly because I know that it's not by accident. Even in BLM, y'all know y'all was like, what am I going to wear? So I'll wear the camo onesie Y'all knew you was out there with the onesie. Side note, BLM kept a lot of y'all together in your relationships, just so you know. Like, you was going out for the resistance, and she was also like, I am going to kill you. I have to get out of this house. I'm going to the march. I'm going to the march. The Panthers have an iconic look that when they came into a space, everyone knew, oh, they here. They here. But I have always wondered, how did the beret make it into the fit? And I've done research, and, you know, I feel like the story is just not interesting enough. They like, because, you know, freedom fighters. I'm like, yeah. But, like, was there a meeting? Because, you know, they have meetings about everything. And so I wanted to call up my ancestors and just run my theory by them and see what they got to say. You think I should call? Yeah. Should I give them a call? All right. I'm going to give them a call. Greetings, you have reached the revolutionary afterlife receptionist, power to the people. Where can I direct your call? Okay, I didn't think you were going to answer. I want to know if any of the Panthers were available to co-sign a story or a vision I have about how the beret made it into the outfit. Unfortunately, all of the Panthers are currently indisposed. They are watching the film Sinners. Can I leave a message? Absolutely. Begin at the tone. Beep. Hello, Panthers. Oh my God, I'm talking to you. All right. Hey, okay, so in my mind, this is how the meeting went down when y'all got the berets. Okay, so let's bring this meeting to order. Let's bring this Black Panther Freedom Party meeting to order. All right, let's look at this agenda tonight and make sure we get through every piece of information here. It looks like we got a Brother Jamal, who is submitted to discuss recruitment. All right, we're going to make sure we get to that. A Brother Jamal Thomas. Looks like we got another, all right, sister right here. Sister Jenkins wants us to discuss why is it that the women always got to wait to eat last when we are doing just as much work? That don't make no damn sense. We like fried chicken too. Okay. All right, we will be making sure to get to that tonight. And last here on the agenda, I see we have a Brother Larent. Brother Larent, I don't know Brother Larent. Brother Larent has submitted to discuss uniform accessorization. All right, well, we'll get to everything. So everybody, let's set this meeting to order. And so the meeting goes on, you know, and they talk about the things. They get things squared away with the sisters, and now everybody can get in line for food at the same time. The women don't have to wait in the back because that's some patriarchal bullshit. There was patriarchy in the revolution. There still is. But nonetheless, they get to the last segment of the meeting, and they're about to leave, and then the brother at the front is like, oh, wait. We forgot to discuss Brother Larent. Show yourself. And Brother Larent rises from the crowd. Bonsoir. Yes, Brother Larent, you have listed a request to discuss uniform accessorization. Oui. It is Brother Laurent. Brother Larent, get to your point. Wait, wait. So first, I wanted to say that I am so happy to be here. I am so happy to be with the Panthers, the Black Panthers. As a Black Frenchman, to be here in the energy of the Black people of America, it is very. And I am feeling so good. I'm feeling so good with the black eyed peas and the chicken and the things. That I want to say that I have noticed that the uniform is magnifique. Oui, it is. It's fabulous because there is elements of the uniform that are very striking. You have the denim, okay, the denim with the denim pants, the denim jacket. So it is denim on denim on denim. Then you are wearing the black turtleneck, which is sleek, which is saying, I am the Panther. In addition to this, you are wearing the shades, right? And the shades is saying, I can see you, but you cannot see me. This is very smart. This is very smart because they don't know which way you are looking. It is mysterious, But I am thinking that there may be something to add. And I wanted to suggest that the people of Haiti were the first to have independence. They are revolutionaries, they are resistance fighters. And we have seen further resistance all over the world where they are wearing a piece of clothing that says, I am too a fighter. And so I wanted to suggest that perhaps you consider wearing the beret. And the whole crowd goes crazy. Man, that's some gang shit, They're very upset. They're very upset. This is an uproar. The outfit has been fine. Why are you trying to put stuff on our head? We ain't trying to be in no French shit, man. All they do is cook with cream, and they are very angry. And Laurent says, oh, désolé. That is sorry in Francais. Perhaps I was not clear. I am not saying to just wear the beret. I am saying to wear the beret to the side. Give you a little chance to breathe. Talk to yourselves if you want to for a little bit. So I hate to break it to you, but Black excellence will not save us. And for the people in here who are not Black, who are waiting for Black excellence to save you too, it's not going to happen. And I know that when I say that, it rocks some people because they're like, what do you mean? Because when they think of Black excellence, they think of the Black folks that have succeeded and exceeded, right? But I would say that Black excellence has become more so an effort to stray us away from Black resistance and into Black acceptance. Black excellence has become more about how do I excel in their systems versus how do I dismantle their systems. How do I excel in their systems versus how do I dismantle, right, that's right. Because, as Ruha Benjamin says, Black faces in high places will not save us. As far as I'm concerned, we were black excellence before we exceeded in spite of. Before we elevated irregardless of. Side note, did you know that irregardless is now in the dictionary? You know what else is now in the dictionary? Conversate. Spread love, it's the Brooklyn way. It is. I still refuse to use it though. I refuse. And every time I say irregardless, I have to say irregardless, just so you know I don't take it seriously. Black excellence ignores the fact that we were always excellent. And we weren't simply excellent because we was kings. Like, not all of us were kings, okay? Some of us were, herdsmen and whatnot. We were excellent because we were here. And then we were excellent because we were there and we were brought here. And we survived it. Do you understand what it means to be forced by death to learn how to sow land that's not your own land? To become an expert at it? To make someone else, not just money, but to make them food on their plate that they can't even share with you? Do you understand the psychological terror that is going on knowing that you are being used to breed babies? That you are not sure if the person you care about or love is going to be there tomorrow? That you don't get to know your mother because they purposely take you away from her immediately so that you do not have a tether to her identity, thus not having a tether to your identity, making it that much easier for them to use you for whatever will they wish. And we are still able to, after all of that, come and sit here in this fucking room and listen to each other. If that is not excellence, I don't know what is. It's miraculous. I don't even want to talk about black excellence. Give me black miraculous. Okay? Shit. Black excellence ignores the fact that we are not, as a people on this land, actually American. And it suggests that that is what we are striving for. I suggest that the black people of this land are a unique indigeneity. We are a form of ethnicity that has had to come about in a way that I don't know of any other people. We were stolen from all different places, put together to become something new. And we became something new. And we had to do that without having land to do it on. This is not a conversation of nomadicness. This is not a conversation of displacement. We didn't get to move from one place to now rebuild in another place. Our bodies had to be the soil. Our bodies had to be the source for the roots to take hold. Our bodies are what is now being colonized in the same way that these imperialists colonize the land of indigenous people. Our bodies are poisoned. Our bodies are stolen. Our bodies are commodified. And now we're even seeing our bodies being used in ways I never even imagined. They just let a woman who had perished be kept alive on machines to use her body as an incubator for her child that she would not even be here to raise. This was all against the wishes of her family. Our connection to ourselves is constantly being severed. And what's put in place of it is a quest for capital, for excess, and excellence. So often the concept of black excellence is really just attached to the inevitable skill of learning their capitalist system and being really good at it. How good are you at making money? How good are you at getting awards? How good are you at being like us? Our ancestors were not fighting to be white. They were not fighting for access to whiteness. You know, Brown versus Board of Education was not saying we want to go to school with white people. It was saying, if we're going to be separate but equal, at least give us the money that you owe us so that we can have buses to go to our schools. Like, that's how it really popped off. Black excellence, in my context, is actually about how close you can be to your soul. How you manage to climb over all of the obstacles that are being put in the way of your empathy and your love of not only yourself but each other to be able to reconnect, like that forest that Harriet was talking about in the beginning. And the effort to divide and conquer is not simply just about dividing and conquering groups and communities and, you know, individuals and people by sex and gender and class. No, divide and conquer is also about dividing you from you so they can conquer you, because you are no longer rooted. You're no longer grounded in the soil. And for what it's worth, I mean, you know, they never really wanted us here. You know, these crackers have been trying to get us out of here for a long time. And I want y'all to know something, too. We're at an inflection point where we have to understand that we're talking beyond race and culture at this point. When we're in a place called the TPF, in this space right here, a lot of us are here not because we have a shared culture, but because we have shared values. And it is that shared value system that is now going to, I hope, just tumble over the racial walls that have been built to keep us separate. Because I literally saw her throw her head back. Because, to be quite honest, it's not enough just to be black no more. It's not, and that's what I mean by the colonizing, right? Because what I'm seeing so often is black spaces that are run by black bodies built on the framework of imperialism. And for so many of us, the confusion is, but how? They look like me. They're not us. They're not like us. Beep, 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 beep. They never wanted us here. There's a couple basic ways that we know that black people were never truly accepted into the United States consciousness, okay? One is in commerce, right? Like, we have seen all types of Asian cars come through. Mitsubishi, Toyota, Hyundai, etc. Why haven't I seen a Keisha Turbo XL 2000? Where's it at, y'all, with the satin headrest? Come on. With a finger grip steering wheel so that your nails can be in the grooves for traction. Where's it at? We have slaveholders on the money. Like, they never said, you know, maybe they don't want to see that no more. Monticello was one of the largest plantations in the nation. Your man had hundreds and hundreds of slaves, and he was fucking a lot of them. Sorry. Okay. And it's on the back of the nickel. There's a plantation on the back of, first of all, why is the president's house on the back of a nickel if it's not the White House? Like, what are we doing? You heard her come out? These are the types of things that let you know they still don't want you here. You're going to be reminded on a regular basis that we don't rock with you. We don't like you. And anytime that there are laws passed with the goal of progression, it is never done because it is the morally correct thing to do. It is never done because it is simply the right thing to do. It is always done because of, oh my God, here nigga, damn. It's not even the money. It's a lot of times, well, yes, it is the money, but it's because more often than not, enough hell is raised where they're just like, these folks is getting annoying with they wanting freedom and all of that. Here, nigga, damn. Any law has been a here, nigga, damn law, y'all. That's the classification I have given them. Here, nigga, damn laws. Let's talk about a couple of them. Well, first of all, we got to talk about the Civil Rights Act of 1964. The Civil Rights Act of 1964. Okay, Civil Rights Act of 1964. I think some people forget that there was an entire stretch of time between the end of the Civil War and the 60s. Like, our history books basically go Civil War, Martin Luther King. Like, that's what we're taught in school. It's as if nothing happened in between. And I need you all to know that the civil rights movement was moving since the end of the Civil War. There was always a civil rights movement because black people's rights were never in place. Now, there were like little moments in time where niggas was like, ooh, it's popping. And then they'd be like, oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. They got too happy. They got too happy. Snatch it back, snatch it back. They was like 40 acres and a mule. Gotcha, bitch. So this stretch of time saw so many folks come forward to fight and to continue to test the civil rights of this nation to see if America was really going to be what it say it want to be. So that's why when so many black people are saying, our ancestors fought for these rights, what our ancestors were doing were literally just saying like, but y'all had said, so why can't we? That's what all of the fight was. But y'all had said, so why can't we? Y'all had said we could vote in the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment. Y'all had said we were citizens, so why can't we? And then the Supreme Court would be like, because you're black. Why do we keep having to do this over and over again? So, 1964, in 1963, we see civil rights activist, voting rights activist, Medgar Evers assassinated in the driveway of his home in front of his children. Sis, I need you to hold it down. But I love that you're into it. Thank you. I'm easily distracted. But she's like, it's me and her, it's me and her. Y'all are just here for the show, but me and her. In 1964, we see the sit-ins begin to happen, right? We see students say, we've had enough. I want to remind you all, it's students that said they had enough, right? It's never us oldies. So all you old heads who are like, these darn kids, shit. They're the ones who be like, listen, Mama, I know you want me to be a doctor, but I'm about to go get coke poured on my head so that everybody else can have a chance at being a doctor. Like, these are the sacrifices that so many young people were making even at school. They were like, if I'm going to get arrested, I'm going to get arrested. Like, this is what it is. The fight is bigger than me. And so when we look at 1964, there were a number of sit-ins, but the thing that really pushed things over the edge for the Civil Rights Act of 1964 was down in Florida at the Monson Motor Inn. I know y'all have seen this picture of a white man with a scowl and sunglasses on and a blazer pouring a substance into a pool. You see, what happened was, in Florida, they said, well, we're gonna protest, but it's hot, so we're gonna do it at a pool. And so they went to a whites-only pool, and both black and white activists alike got in this pool. And in challenging their act of defiance, this man poured acid into the pool. And it was captured, and it was sent through the press. And liberals, like they always do, were like, oh my God, I didn't know this was happening. I guess we should stop it, right? And so things were pushed along. The Civil Rights Act of 1964 gets passed. Strom Thurmond was beaten by Cory Booker and had previously held the longest filibuster of all time against black people having civil rights. Then we have the fact that, again, black people were fighting to gain civil rights that they already had. So the Civil Rights Act of 1964 was more so about saying, like, hey, y'all can't keep stopping black people from having their civil rights that they already have. So again, when people say, like, we're fighting for our rights, they're literally fighting to be able to exist in the rights that were already given to them. And so when the Civil Rights Act of 1964 was passed, it wasn't because it was like, yo, our bad. We shouldn't have been doing that. It was like, here, nigga. They stay wanting rights. Voting Rights Act of 1965. Selma, Alabama. Selma, Alabama was not waiting for no Martin Luther King to come through to try and get their rights, to try and get their ability to vote. They had the right to vote. Again, when people say our people died for the right to vote, they had the right to vote. They were being impeded from voting by racist cops, racist people in the town, by folks who were intimidating them at the polls with guns, by folks who were giving them these ridiculous tests that they couldn't pass themselves to try and validate their ability to vote, by folks who were absolutely just mesmerized with the idea of homogeneity, that they did not want black people to participate in the political movement or even just voting of their town. So when we talk about voting rights, we have to understand that in this context, you had black people that were living at the disposal of white folks and not being able to live even with them being a participant in the town. They're paying taxes, they're living there, they are a part of the actual movement of the people, but yet they are not able to be a part of the legislative body. Selma, Alabama said, we're not doing this no more. They started creating resistance themselves. They started meeting in back rooms, in sheds behind people's houses. They started doing this all on the low, real shh, shh. And they reached out to John Lewis and said, yo, come through, help us. Come on, Snick, come on. And John Lewis came through and was like, yo, they doing something real here. Like, we need to get in with this. But Snick was like, this is a losing battle. They're not going to win. This is Alabama. You know how racist they is here. But nonetheless, he was there with them on that day on Edmund Pettus Bridge, Bloody Sunday. Bloody Sunday was the beginning of an effort to march from Selma to Montgomery in a peaceful protest to gain voting rights. How often have we seen peaceful protests turned violent by the folks that are supposed to be the peacekeepers? This is yet another instance of this case. And what happened on the other side of that bridge was they were met with batons and police on horses, and they were beaten and bruised, and it was on the front page of the paper. And once again, liberals were like, they're beating Negroes again. We should probably do something about that. Right? The Voting Rights Act had been taking its time, moving through Congress, et cetera, et cetera. But after this, they felt like, oh, God, now we're going to have to do something again because we can't let the blacks get out of hand. We can't let this get too far out of our grasp. So, here, nigga. Voter Rights Act. In 1968, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. is assassinated. Folks lose it. I don't think enough of us really contextualize either who weren't there, like the amount of assassinations that were happening in such a short amount of time of figures that, you know, they didn't have the oversaturation that we have, right? So like you're seeing only the same few people in these places. Now we see everybody all the time, everywhere. You know, somebody died, they lucky if they get 24 hours. They're gonna get a post or two. But after that, folks is on to the next. So by Dr. Martin Luther King's assassination, there had been so much loss. The Kennedys, Malcolm, Medgar, and a host of individuals whose names we don't know, but who were pillars in their communities and whose losses created rupture and pain. And as we know, Dr. King said, the riot is the voice of an unheard people. I'm paraphrasing. And so when the people lost it and property started getting damaged, the Housing Rights Act, which had been sitting there, all of a sudden gets pushed over the line to try and shut folks up. It was yet another, here nigga. Damn. Now we've had a recent here nigga damn law. Did you know that? What do you think it is? Nope. Okay, I got y'all. It's 2020. It's Black Lives Matter. It's not just black folks. What'd you say? There it is. It's not just black folks in the street. It's everybody in the streets all over the world. They was in London like, well, fucking crikey, mash it up. They knocking over statues. I don't even know who these people are. Like, Colonel Wexler was a daft cunt. Like, yeah. Like, I don't know. It was crazy. It was crazy. And once again, they said the populace has lost it. We don't have control. We're gonna lose control. If we don't have control of the populace, then we can't do what we be doing. So we gotta come up with something. What can we do for them? How can we shut them up? What can we do? What do black people like? Holidays! Happy Juneteenth! Here, nigga! Yeah! Are y'all aware? Man, y'all in here. Evening, name Willie. How y'all doing? See you back there with your headscarf on, okay? A little nervous to talk to you, but well, came down here to talk to y'all because I heard that y'all talking about Juneteenth. Yeah, there seemed to be a thought that we ain't know we was free. Yeah, I'm not sure why y'all think that. We knew we were free. It was the talk of the time. Everybody was waiting on it to come down. They was saying everywhere every day. It was just a matter of time before that Emancipate Proclamation. And so we was talking about what we gonna do next. Where we gonna go with this, with the freedom that we about to have. So we knew we were free. Boy, I was the first one out of there. Okay. Man, when they came through and said it's a wrap, I said, I'm out of here. And I was the first one they strung up. Yeah, see, one that we didn't know we were free was that we couldn't get free. Because they didn't want us to be free. And if we're being honest, some people don't know how to be free. It's a real tricky thing, freedom, especially when you're not accustomed to it. Who gonna give you food? Who gonna give you medicine? Don't know where you're gonna sleep at night. For me, that was an adventure. That seemed like something I could really get used to, just figuring it out. But for some folks, it was too much for them. And for them masters, it was also too much for them. To imagine having to do what we've been doing for them. So when all of us who had decided we was going to be out, went out, we hit that road, and they ran up on us, and it took us out. But we knew we were free. We knew we were free, and we knew that one day everybody else was going to be too. So next time you hear somebody talking about Juneteenth and saying we ain't know what was going on and we were surprised and shocked, shut that shit up. The only surprise and shock was that it took that long. I'm surprised they even did Juneteenth this year. I am surprised that they even did Juneteenth this year. But if we're not careful, Juneteenth can only go downhill because once Walmart had done it, we should have known. Like there was an ice cream. There was a Juneteenth ice cream. And the flavor was like chicken and waffles, red Kool-Aid. Like just nonsense. Like Hennessy Vicks flavor, you know? Like what are we doing? Like office parties, you know, we're really close to it being a situation where you come to work and like Ashley H has on like a Frederick Douglass wig and asks you at a Chili's, like, do you want a Harriet Tubman teeny? Or do you want a Malcolm X Arita? Like, it's really on the cusp. And so we gotta hold that down. We gotta hold that down. You know, Juneteenth, I believe, should be celebrated a certain way by certain people. Like, that's just my theory. That's just how I feel about it. It is what it is. If you don't identify as black or white, I just feel like you should be at work on Juneteenth. You should be calling your black friends like, hola. I just wanted to say Feliz Juneteenth. Okay, I'm going to go back to the Zoom. Adios. That's it. If you black, I believe that on Juneteenth, everything should be free. Everything should be free. Everything. I believe you should walk up any store like, what y'all got for me today? I believe that all spas should have very particular, specific Juneteenth specials. You know, you walk in and they're like, greetings. So today we are offering a special Juneteenth treatment that we call the cotton tickle. And this technique specifically works the nerves to get beneath that generational trauma that is so deeply embedded into the DNA. And then we work our way down the lumbar to the sciatica, where your body is still holding the pain of leaning over to pick cotton. So we would love to offer you this service for free. And I would accept it. And they're gonna play Drew Hill during the treatment. It's glorious. Sorry, I didn't notice you there. Glorious. In contrast, I believe that on Juneteenth, white people, y'all should shut the fuck up. And let me tell you why. Because silence allows for reflection. Stillness allows for connection. I believe that all white people who consider themselves just happening to be white should be building an altar to give offerings to those who have suffered at the hands of the expansion and perpetuation of white supremacy. I believe, because there's a spectrum of white, okay? Like you have like the white people who on June, so you can measure it on January 6th. Like that's a real easy litmus test. Like on January 6th, were you a white person that was like, fuck yeah? Like, okay, so you're not my kind of whites. Like that's that. Then like, okay, on January 6th, were you like, my country 'tis of thee. You know, you may not go, you may not call the cops on a black person, but you absolutely wouldn't stop the cops from arresting a black person, right? So, like, those are the whites who are just like, they really believe in America, right? Then you have your allies, and like, white allies, they're cool. They're gonna pronounce words correctly. They're the ones who are gonna be like, Hawaii. They're gonna make sure. You heard it? They're like, no, we're not going to have an ad because they don't want us there. Like, they're the ones who are going to say, like, I would actually like a margarita. You're like, okay, we get it, okay. But the thing about white allies is that they still look at you as other. So, like, they're there to help or they're there to support, but they're still like, we're here for you. And it's like, bitch, get off me. Also, they like to take a mic. They like to take the mic from you. You're like, we need to fight for our people. They're like, thanks, Keisha. Yes. Your people need to get fought for. And I'm here. My favorite whites all reacted the same way on January 6th. They texted the black people in their group chat because they have more than one black friend and said, look at these crackers. Those are the best kinds of whites because those are your co-conspirators. Okay? Those are the ones who are going to show up like, all right, I got the guns. What are we doing? What are we doing? Those are the ones who they know at any type of event, any type of action, when the police roll up, they're like, back up, Shamika, talk to me. Do you know who my father is? He's a judge, okay? I went to Vassar. And so on Juneteenth, you will know, if you didn't know already, like where your coworkers fall on this spectrum, because the day after Juneteenth will give you the telling, all right? And this is why. Because if you are a white person who is not going to shut up and who is not going to build the altar, then on Juneteenth, you should be haunted. Yes, all these ancestors that I got up here, they should be coming to your house like, boom. Listen, you had the nerve to get married in a plantation. I hope they haunt the hell out your reception. Sliding down the banisters. Yeah, gotcha, bitch. Boom. I want to see it happen. And let me tell you, the next day they coming to work and they going to show that they had a rough night's sleep. That day after Juneteenth, Renita should be strolling in. Whew. Man, I feel rested. Oh, my God. That cotton tickle had me, didn't it? And then Ashley H. comes in. Happy Juneteenth, Renita. Sorry, I didn't talk all day. You look so rested. You look so rested. So what did you and Brad do for Juneteenth? Oh, you know me and Brad. We built our altar, and Maisie and Jonah, they gave their offerings. And it was so beautiful, you know. So what were your offerings this year? Oh, so this year we decided This year we decided to offer a bottle of pink Luster's pink oil, pink lotion. I'm not sure if you know, but yes, I know what Luster's pink lotion is. Yes, it was a hair product that was very popular in the 80s and 90s, and it was pink. It was pink, and black people, it just moisturized and really helped to keep their coils really lubricated. So we also gave an offering. We also gave an offering of a McRib sandwich. I know that we are boycotting McDonald's, so this actually was one that we made out of paper mache. And lastly, we gave a Jordan. A Jordan? Well, we only gave one Jordan because one, we wanted to honor like the incredible feat that Michael Jordan had accomplished in his athleticism and his ability to move through the annals of Nike and keep his IP. However, we also wanted to simultaneously represent the deep demoralizing that the Jordan did in black neighborhoods, in its ability to create so much dissension among black people because of the materialism attached to it. Wow, that's deep, girl. That's deep. Now Ashley C comes in. Hey guys. Ashley, why you acting like that? Why are you jumping in all shit? Woo! I had a long night. Let's just say my great grandfather was not a good man. Oh my God. So like you didn't build an altar? Wow, you're like racist. Maybe next year you should come and spend Juneteenth with my family. We love to just sit in stillness unless we're singing new Negro spirituals. So that perks Renita's ears up. Wait a minute. New Negro spirituals? Ashley H., what are you talking about? What new Negro spiritual are you singing? Oh, Renita, you don't. I would love to sing it with you. You know what? Let's just all sing it together like we do in my home. Please, hold hands. Are you all so concerned with your sexuality that you can't hold hands? I'm sorry if my voice is a little scratchy. Again, I did not speak yesterday. I don't know what it is that you've done to me, but it's got me to act in such a crazy way. You can feel it in the cotton, right? Whatever it is that you do when you do what you do to me. Boom, boom, boom. It's a feeling I don't want to stay. 'Cause why, y'all? 'Cause my heart starts beating triple time with thoughts of loving you on my mind. I can't figure out just what to do when the cause and cure is you. I get so weak in the knees, I can hardly speak. I lose, and something takes over me. Amazing, it's not a phase. I want you to stay with me, stay with me. Your love is so sweet. It knocks me right off of my feet. But now, Renita's into it. I get so weak. Blood starts racing through my veins. I get so weak. It's something I can't explain. I get so. Come on, y'all! Oh, can't explain why your loving makes me weak. That was incredible! Oh my God! That's so much better than our white spirituals. What's a white spiritual? You know. Just a small town girl living in a. Hey! She took the midnight train going anywhere. Just a city boy, born where? Born and raised in. Hey! He took the midnight train going. Take it to the hook! Don't stop! You know why you know the words to that? Because you're trying to get a raise. You're at the Juneteenth office party with your boss, Rick. Hold on to that feeling! Y'all still with me? Yeah. We almost home. We almost home. Yo, what's good, y'all? Yo. Shh. Don't get too loud. My daughter right here, yo. It's all good, mama. It was all a dream. I used to read Word Up magazine. Salt and pepper and heavy D. It helps put her to sleep, you feel me? Yo, what's good, man? Yo. Shoo. I'm surprised y'all ain't starstruck, you feel me? You know, because it's me. Y'all don't recognize. Let me put my daughter down. Maybe. Y'all don't recognize me? It's MC Checkerho. Everybody's favorite, huh? No? It's all good, man. You know, I put the mic down a long time ago, you feel me? So, you know what I'm saying? I let the young whippersnappers do their thing now, you feel me? Yeah, I just went a different path. But once upon a time, no, I was your boy. I was out here, y'all, you feel me? I was out here because, yo, for real, like, hip-hop now is on some other. Like, when I was doing my thing, you know what I mean? My thing, like, I started, but I wasn't, like, I wasn't the kid that was, like, beating on lunch tables, you know what I'm saying? That was, like, knowing vocabularies and whatnot. Like, I was just out here, and I was pushing, you know what I mean? And so, like, when we was out there, you know, we would just play around, passing the time and whatnot. And, you know, cats was like, yo, you got a little something with you, B. Chill. Chill. But, yo, for real, I started really kind of, you know, playing with that shit. You know what I mean? I be in the shower like, yo, I'm nice. So I was listening to my homeboys, and they was like, yo, I think you could really do something with this. You know what I'm saying? Like, we out here on the block because this all we got, but, like, you got a little, you know what I mean, a little charismatica with you. And I was like, yeah, charismatica. Who said what back there? Poetic license. So I started doing little showcases and shit, you know what I mean? I was washing niggas. Like fabuloso, okay? Yo, next thing I knew, I was on tour. MC Checker Hole World Tour. Y'all don't know my #1 hit? I'm fucking all the bitches. I'm fucking all the hoes. Like, yeah. Whew, I was nasty with it, B. Thing about it, though, is once I got off the block, it wasn't just my body that got off the block. It was my mind, right? I wasn't just going to these other countries and doing shows. I was getting to see how other people live, getting to experience other cuisines and whatnot. You know they eat snails? Shit's is good, B. And when you get to see other things, like, it's like your brain expands. Like the prison that they be putting us in is really just a built formation of the prison we in by ourselves. I'm getting deep right now, Bree. So when I got out of that prison, I started to experience something totally different. Even my taste in music changed, B. I started listening to Isaac Hayes and Curtis Mayfield and Marvin Gaye and Nina Simone, and they was singing something. I started listening to Public Enemy, X-Clan, To the East, my brother, to the East. I knew you would like that. I started listening to KRS. They started putting me on to folks I ain't even really know about. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just thought Malcolm was the cat with the rifle at the window. You feel me? I ain't know he was really that cat. And so, correct. And so once I started understanding in a whole different way, I started saying, yo, I gotta start talking in a whole different way. I gotta start rapping in a whole different way. I gotta start spitting in a whole different way. And so I started coming at my shits completely different, and I was putting niggas on, and the radio was not fucking with me. And the record company said, yo, chill. 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 Nobody coming to you for all that woke, conscious crap. I'm like, what you talking about, B? They said they not coming to you for that. Say, they coming to me because I'm MC Checkerhole. They said, no, they coming to you for your lifestyle. It's like they didn't understand that, like, the bitches and the money and the hoes, like that, when I was talking about that, that wasn't my lifestyle, that was my circumstance. Once I changed my circumstance, my style of life changed. So why wouldn't I be talking about that? Because I want all my niggas' style of life to change if that's all they think they got. They was like, nah, man. You gotta go back to fucking all the bitches and fucking all the hoes. And I'm ashamed to say that's exactly what I did. I got so used to having the money, you feel me? Like I got so accustomed to having the fame. I couldn't. Keep it a buck, I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed because real rap Like, when I was talking about bitches and hoes, I didn't even know I had ancestors that I needed to be caring about. I didn't even know that I was literally like an extension of something beyond myself, all that deep woo-woo bitches with crystals shit. But we're born like that's what it is. You know, eventually I said, nah, y'all got it. I cashed out, got me a few bodegas on the same block. One at the end, one at the other end, one in the middle. And now I got my daughter. And I get the chance to show up for her the way that ain't nobody was there to show up for me, but also to try to like flip the script that I didn't flip, but by infusing in her the courage to do that shit. Because that's really what it be. Having the courage to really stand for something. Having the courage to really stick to your guns when everybody else is pointed at you. You feel me? And that's what I'm going to teach my daughter. And I'm only going to let her listen to rap from 2005 and before.
ما في حدا جاوب علي بس نكتب على باب البيت من وراها الصهيونية جماضيها واحد شفته بيشبههم ماشي حوالي من أهلها مسكت الحجر رميته ولا مالي قوية جماضيها واحد شفته بيشبههم ماشي حوالي من أهلها مسكت الحجر رميته ولا مالي قوي مسكوني وضربوني وقالوا أنت محاسنة القاضي مسكوني وانتوا بسألوا المجرم الرامي مين بيقدر هذا العام اسمع يا صوتي يا بشرية يلي من السزار انت بيشوف الحرية انت بيشوف الحرية.
That was the voice of 8-year-old Maya Al-Madhoun at PHRC Children's Village in Palestine, in Gaza. I do not know if she is still alive. Palestine continues to awaken me every day. And I learned so much from Palestine and from Palestinians that I realized that I just simply didn't know about myself, about my country that I exist in, about humanity. And it forced me to become uncomfortable in order to shift, in order to see something greater, better, and more beautiful. Because if the Palestinians in Gaza and the West Bank who are living under the threat of violence every goddamn day can continue to see something greater and beautiful and wonderful, then what am I doing? I remember on October 7th, seeing what took place, and on October 8th saying they are going to attempt to genocide these people. And being told, what about the hostages? And I knew from then that there would be such a deeper fight than had ever been fought before. Because people that I knew who had never known about Palestine or Gaza or even Israel, all of a sudden were asking about Palestine and Gaza and Israel. And even though I had been made aware before October 7th, I still am ashamed at how long it took me to become aware. And that shame is not something that I want to shirk. It's something that I honestly embrace because it keeps me alive and human and aware. That shame that they try so hard to not allow to be embedded in folks who learned the true history of this nation is, for those of us who are empathetic, it is something that reminds us that we are not merely just bodies, we are souls. I lost my agents, my publicist, I lost my interest in being a part of a career of cowards. I watched my literal entire industry turn their backs. I was on a TV show and only one person in the entire cast has ever publicly said anything about Palestine. 2 years later. And I had to lose all of that to regain my integrity. Don't clap for me. Because that's what the fuck I was supposed to do. Recently, I bought my book back, my memoir back from the publisher. There were a number of reasons, among them, that my editor showed signs of being a Zionist that I could no longer pretend were not what they were. When I said in the text that a conversation with Palestine and Israel expert Dr. Mark, he would love that I accidentally said Martin Luther, Dr. Mark Lamont Hill, he's like, oh. I said in the text, in the writing, that a conversation with him, a 7-minute conversation with him, let me know that what I had been told for years was too complex of an issue for me to grasp was actually very clear. And in the margin, her note was, it seems like you only needed the Cliff Notes to understand this. Did you consult with any Israeli scholars? That's literally like saying, did you consult with any slave owners? This is a time where bridges are being built as we have watched an entire existence be crumbled. And if the bridges that you're building are not across spaces and people and coalitions that you haven't interacted with before, then you're not doing the work. Palestine has brought so many of us together. It brought so many people into my space that I never would have come across. It kicked so many people out of my space that I needed to stop coming across. As a stand-up comic, I started to see my audience change. Now it wasn't just black women and black men, it was entire groups of Habibis and hijabis. And let me tell you, Arabs roll deep. They bring in the whole family to the show, okay? Folks is taking group pictures outside the venue in their keffiyehs. And as I saw this demographic shift, I saw my attacks on the internet start to grow. And it let me know it's working. You're working. You're doing something that is beyond just simply standing on stage and telling jokes. Now you're building a bridge by any joke necessary. And I felt a purpose to edutain that was grounded in me that I've committed myself to, and I have to thank Palestine and the people of Palestine and the people of Gaza and the West Bank and Jerusalem. I have to thank them for that every day because it was asleep and it was awakened. And understanding that we as peoples can come together is something that I think so many of us think is something like some woo-woo kumbaya thing. But it really isn't. I mean, to be quite frank, Black people and Arabs, we are overdue in alignment for so many reasons. Amongst them, that we share, we both hold, we both regard with deep reverence and respect the necessity to season our food. When I see Black folks pretend that Palestine has nothing to do with them, I wonder how you can disassociate yourself from something so obvious. And I wonder how you can praise the likes of the Black folks that everybody loves to praise, whether it be Malcolm X or James Baldwin, Kwame Ture. I still like the name Stokely, though. If I'm going to call him Stokely, I'm going to call him Stokely. You know, the greats. Martin Luther King, I mean, they were writing about Palestine in the SNCC, you know, in the Southern Christian Leadership, I mean, in the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee's, like, newsletter in, like, 1967. And yet, folks now want to disassociate themselves and say, oh, well, that's not us, that's not us. Well, those people are heading for a rude awakening because the same hold that Derek Chauvin held to George Floyd's knee was taught to him by an IOF soldier. These cop cities that they're building all over this nation to occupy the people of this nation are a mimicry of what has already been done all over the globe, but also what has been tested in Palestine. It's already been proven. They're not coming here to figure it out. They're coming here to apply it. We also have to understand that the histories are always connected. In 1947 and 48, at the end of World War II, there was an entire global effort of colonization that folks do not talk enough about. Why? Because we just keep getting shown movies from the war over and over and over again. I swear to God, if I see one more World War II movie, and by the way, they wasn't there to be good. They wasn't in World War II to save folks. They was there to save money, okay? They didn't go there because they were like, oh my gosh, the Jews, we have to help them. They had a sold out Nazi event at Martin Luther King Square Garden, Madison Square Garden the other day. No, within that time frame, they partitioned India and Pakistan. They made the 38th parallel that separated North Korea and South Korea. They embedded apartheid in South Africa. They committed the Nakba in Palestine. All of these things are happening simultaneously, y'all. That is not by happenstance. And it is now time that we stop pretending like it doesn't matter. This is the sequence of history happening, and I believe that we are in an opportunity for somewhat of a new reconstruction, even if it isn't on the books. And that reconstruction is going to first start with your mind. You know, the revolution will not be televised. It's not about television. What he's saying is the revolution begins in your mind. Your boy Fred Hampton, he said, you can't start a revolution without education. And when people ask me all the time, well, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do? I'm like, well, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? And if you're not having a conversation in 2025 about the United States that doesn't include Israel and Palestine, you're not talking about anything. So I implore all of us to not only pursue this knowledge for our own elevation, but also because we need to see a free Palestine in this time. And we are closer than we've ever been. And what a free Palestine shows the world is that colonialism cannot continue. And there has never been a time other than this time, like this time. And when people ask me all the time, well, what's different about now than the civil rights movement? I tell them, Wi-Fi. We almost home, y'all. We almost home. Pretty, ugly, nice, bad. Pretty, ugly, nice, bad. They doing another one of them doll tests, y'all. You know, where they sit me next to old Blue Eyes over there. And they ask these little babies, which one of these dolls is pretty? Ugly? Nice? Bad? They be saying I'm the ugly bad one. But I don't care. Because every so often, a little black baby say, she the pretty one. She the nice one. And I know that little black baby is going to grow up to be a badass black woman. Because liking me means that you bout something. But we got to be kind of quiet so we don't disturb the past. So we're going to have this conversation with our eyes. Oh, you didn't know you could have a whole conversation with your eyes? How else your mama get you to stop crying in the grocery store? How else you think them slaves on them slave ships who didn't speak the same languages because they wasn't from the same tribes and the same nations was able to come together and then throw over the railings of the boat the people that was keeping them enslaved? They would be under there like this. Yeah. You know what I call it? The OPVNC. The optical vibranium connection. The optical pupil vibranium connection. The OPVNC, it's a black thing. Yeah, you know, we don't have to stay here, y'all. I know a much better place than this doll test. Y'all want to go with me? Yeah. Okay, well, y'all want to go. What about y'all? Y'all sound like you would be really boring. We'll come back to y'all. How about y'all? Y'all want to go with me? How about y'all? Y'all want to go with me? Oh, wow! Okay. So we're going to go somewhere where our imagination has no limitations, where it ain't about what you can't be, but everything that you are. You ready? Okay. We're going to have to go through a portal. So y'all are going to have to repeat after me. And we're going to have to be real loud because the ancestors got to bring us through and they got to hear us, okay? Okay? All right. Teddy bear, turn around. Teddy bear, touch the ground. Teddy bear, show your shoe. Teddy bear, that'll do. Wow. You know what that feeling is? Negritude. When you just happy to be black and you just black and happy. Man, well, here we are in your imagination. We can be everything we want to be here because we have nothing stopping us from being everything that we was, everything we are, and everything we can be. Now, I want to introduce you to some of my friends, some of the other dolls in here. Y'all want to meet them? Yeah. Do y'all want to meet them? Yeah. Oh, there go Keisha doll. Hey, Keisha doll! That's Keisha doll. Thank you. That's Keisha doll. Keisha doll, she comes with 2 briefcases, a cell phone, and ambition. She also has a short haircut like all black women lawyers on 90s television shows. Hi, Keisha doll. Oh, there goes Sister Doll. Hey, Sister Doll. That's Sister Doll. She comes with a machete, a copy of Frantz Fanon's Wretched of the Earth, and an afro made of polymers that expel colonialist rhetoric. She's fun. Oh, hey, Nassim doll. That's Nassim doll. She's from Palestine, and she comes with freedom. Oh, hey, Fatima doll. That's Fatima doll. Fatima doll, she comes from the Congo, and she comes with freedom. Not enough of y'all said it, though. Oh, and there goes Fortuné doll. Hey, Fortuné doll. She comes from Sudan, and you know what she comes with? Freedom. Yay! You're hard to impress. Oh, look, y'all, there goes Kathy doll and all her girls. Now, Kathy doll, she comes with a whole set of other dolls that are all representative of black women who have contributed greatly to the math and sciences, but have not been given credit. You got to have a big old dollhouse for all of them. Man, isn't it so lovely being around all of these folks? And all their energies and all their greatness just coming from all these souls and their spirits, because they're them and I'm me. But like, we are all we. It's trippy. Oh, wow. You guys see them? It's the larger than life dolls. Oh, man. Hi, Miss Asada doll. Hi, Miss June Jordan doll. Hi, Miss Coretta doll. Hi, Miss Diane Nash doll. I got to yell so they can hear me because they all the way up there because they larger than life. They remind us that you can move through space and time and realms just being yourself. You know what kind of amazing woman you got to be to exist in multiple dimensions and still keep your edges? It's incredible. They keep my imagination alive. So no matter who thinks I'm pretty or ugly or nice or bad, I know who I am. And I know I'm everything that they are, all in me. And so are you. You are too. That's why I brought you here. You get it? Do you get it? Okay, well, in case you didn't, I wrote a song about it. You know, because sometimes people understand better with music. Y'all want me to sing my song? Yeah. I'm not going to do it. Y'all want me to sing my song? I'm not going to do it. Everybody's got a plan till they get punched in the face. Everybody thinks they're the man till they gotta run their own race. Well, you can march to your own drum, but can you handle freedom? Can you imagine? Can you? Would you? Could you? I want to see you dismantle your demons. I want to see you wearing your wisdom. Want to see you in vision. I want to see you consider a future. Want to see you wonder beyond, 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 beyond. We are stardust floating on the waves of ancestral emissions. We are tomorrow, today. Lost souls with so much unsaid to say. Ooh, I am tired. We are stardust floating on the waves of ancestral emissions. We are tomorrow, today. We are stardust floating on the waves of ancestral emissions. We are tomorrow, today. Lost souls with so much unsaid to say. Our ancestors are listening because our ancestors are us. We are a continuance. The fight didn't begin with us, it didn't end with us. we are stardust. And we are not sure of where we came from, but we have to find some semblance of knowing where we want to be going. And so much of that comes from that which has happened, but also imagining that which can happen. So, when your ancestors call on y'all, please pick up. Good night. TPF for giving us this space to continue to do this show. And please tell your friends that when people do free shows, they should still come, even if they didn't have to pay for the ticket. This is a work in progress, and you guys are a part of that, and that means so much to me. It also means a lot that you continue to support places like the TPF. So as was mentioned in the beginning by Omari, please consider donating. I also have merch at the front. Remember, like I said in the show, I don't got that career no more. So it's funny, but it's crazy. Please consider subscribing. Please consider subscribing to my Patreon, also to getting some merch. But you can also check out my show, Views from Amanda Land, every Wednesday, 10 a.m. Eastern on YouTube, Amanda Seals TV, where we talk about not just the news, but we contextualize it. You know, we feel like, ultimately, I feel like education is what's really lacking, and if I do anything before I leave this earth, I hope it's to inspire people to consider critical thinking just as important as sex. So thank you once again for your love, and I appreciate you.
Let's clap it up for Amanda Seals, y'all. Clap it up, clap it up.
I'm going to go over here.
That's right, that's right, that's right. So on behalf of the People's Forum, I just want to thank y'all for coming out tonight. If you would like to join Amanda Seals in the meet and greet, you can pay for it at the front. You can talk to her team by the door. If you've already paid for it, you can meet our comrade Angie right over here to my left at the bottom of the stairs. But once again, thank y'all for coming to the People's Forum and for celebrating Amanda Seals, y'all. Have a good night.